Okay, mic should be on. Everything appears to be fine dandy. Let's give her the usual text, which is this and that. There we go. Now let front on board. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Right. Long absence apparently. Fucking.
Sorry. I had no
See,
power on Monday.
a lot of stuff is going on in the past few weeks. We keep having delays on streams, and fun fact, next stream will also be cancelled because of events. Like, fuck.
Yeah, I'm going to a concert again. Because I'm
Right.
finally here again.
I mean, can't blame real life stuff. It
Yeah.
gets in the way. It does things sometimes. We'll get this game done eventually. Gotta hope it's done by July.
Yeah.
At this
it could
rate.
still be happen, but I think it's getting close.
What's interesting? And I did some small research. This is ages ago. I was just curious because I'm pretty positive like the most popular playthrough of Ace Attorney right now would be the Game Grumps attempt run of it, which they did complete quotation. Except they're not doing this chapter for some reason. They skipped on this one. I wonder why. You really call it a run of Ace Attorney if they skipped it?
Shameful.
I know, right? It's probably going to be the most top result playthrough of the game, and they didn't even finish the full thing. How fucking dare.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was a little bit of... That's just a small bit of pettiness in me.
That is fair. I mean, one thing that I'm glad that we're doing the last case is I think I, in the past, quite often complained about the Blue Badger puzzle, and we're getting there.
I don't recall it being terrible, but it's been a while, so I'm going to rediscover it in a minute.
I mean, it might be best to just get it first try, but I hope it's not the case that you can suffer alongside me.
Hey, I play Professor Layton games. I'm moderately decent.
Yeah, but it's not the fact, like, the solution is easy. You pretty much see it before the game even tells
Oh, it's
you
the
that
whole
something.
court stuff shenanigans, right?
It's the whole getting the game to accept the fact that you know what's going on.
Right. Okay, so we left off early on a mid exploration thing because it was getting late.
Yeah.
We need to go to Edgeworth right now.
Yeah. Did we present him the...
We did.
Okay, good.
Because Gumshoe told us to go to Edgeworth, pretty much. So we're gonna do that right
because
now.
that's his number. Yeah.
I gotta figure out where he is, which is this way, and then this way, and then here. And he's not here. Why is he not here?
Wait.
Did I miss a step?
He should be here.
Alright, I'll go back. Alright, let me present the ID thing on him then. Maybe I've just missed a bit. Let's see. That one. Nope, he doesn't know. Moving on.
It's his entire job knowing
I know!
what this thing is.
Alright,
that must be a bad job, but not the
Alright, let me just make sure there isn't something in here I missed then. Let's see. That's fine. We checked the glove. Oh wait.
Right.
If you put these pieces together, it makes a jar.
Yeah, two things that bother me. One, why are some of the pieces missing? Two, doesn't it seem a little unstable? No wonder it broke.
I'll make sure to remember that next time I make a jar. Okay. Just a reminder, I guess. I think everything else is checked out.
There's some... Go back to the cases. Is this relevant? Because there's one unmarked. If we go to the right.
It's probably just in general.
Okay.
I'm just gonna skip that. We know this stuff doesn't work.
Okay.
Okay, oh yeah, right, but we can't even open these things even if we had, like, the code or whatever, so it wouldn't matter. Fingerprints, man. Okay, I guess that's everything.
Can we talk to him more now? Maybe that's what we say.
No, we already did that. I'm pretty sure we need to go to Edgeworth, because that's what he told us to do, and my memory's telling me to go to Edgeworth. If I have to
Yeah, I also remember something about Edgeworth. Maybe... Yes.
We'll just check around where we can and can't go.
Pension Center?
No, he's already done. You sure we have to talk to Edgeworth? I'm positive. I think I missed a step. Alright, well, I'm just gonna partner with...
It's day 2, right?
Yeah, we're on the right thing, hang on. Alright, let me just go pull out the walkthrough, because, to be fair, we've forgotten stuff, so we have an excuse. This is why we don't leave streams midway through things. Let's see. Investigation. Day 2. Scroll down. It's the stake. Thank God they provided images. Glove, and the base.
Okay, so I just was at the evidence room sector 3, and it seems to be to go to High Prosecutor's office.
Which this is not, isn't it?
Is it?
No, room 1202 says here, which I don't know where that is.
Yeah, but this there isn't another one.
Oh yeah, yeah. Hang on a minute. Wait.
Did we?
Hang on, I think I just spotted it. We need to go back here. Move into the evidence room. Apparently I didn't... Pretty sure I sprayed everything everywhere, but apparently I missed a spot.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh.
apparently I missed that. The boss positive I sprayed on that, but whatever.
Why am I getting a reaction here?
There's no reason for the murderer to touch this spot if he fled out the door. This just might be something significant. Hey, that's some pretty amazing stuff you got there, pal.
But this, it's called luminal testing fluid.
Where'd you get your hands on that?
Huh?
I'd like to get some too. I'll just borrow $50 from the chief. Where do you get this, Emma?
I was bought by mail order.
Well, I better jot this down on the floor plans. Okay, now we can see Edgeworth. God damn it. What was that one thing?
Yeah.
Alright, that's a good thing we checked.
Also, like, it's so linear, but I guess it's to make sure you don't miss things, so that you know where...
Oh, for fuck's sake. We missed something else.
Did we talk to him about SL9 by giving him the...
What, a gumshoe?
Yeah, Goodman's note or switchblade?
Positive, but we'll just do it anyway. And back we go.
It comes a bit, especially with the moving, so ridiculous, like, oh, I'm not here right now, you need to talk to Gumshoe, then I will magically appear.
No, he's definitely talked about this. The presenting the two evidence thing. Positive. Oh, but now that's there. Okay, whatever. Maybe the hand just incentivized to move forward, I don't know. Now that was a bloody violent case. Violent? So it was a murder? A serial killing. Serial killing? Maybe I don't want to get involved in this after all. But the killer made a mistake. And Mr. Edgeworth built his case around that to nab him.
And this was 2 years ago.
That put Mr. Edgeworth right in the spotlight, and started the rumor mill. Rumors? About forged evidence? It was supposed to be all cleaned up with the transfer the other day. It was the last job he ever did. Detective Goodman, that is.
Huh? What do you mean?
Detective Goodman was the detective in charge of the SL9 incident, see?
So that switchblade knife?
The victim took the knife out of the evidence locker himself? Hey pal, look at the time! Was there something you need to be going to? It's just that Mr. Edgeworth's inquiry committee should be letting out soon. I'm going to give them my report for the day. Wait a minute. It might help, you know. Okay, that's also... This is another reference to the sequel, to the second game. Yes, the image doesn't... The image does not make sense, just let it roll.
You mean the note written on the back of the flyer?
The one that says nothing but no problems? Hey, it's Mr. Edgeworth we're talking about. I'm sure he can use a report like this. I believe in him. Who needs enemies when you've got friends like Detective Gumshoe? I'm off, pal. Later. I should probably see what Edgeworth has to say too. Okay, now we have a reason to go. Oh, wrong way. Fuck.
I figured it out eventually.
I would have preferred if this was one of those games that had like a map pop-up type thing, then select your location. That'd be far more convenient than this shit.
Yeah.
It's annoying when these text boxes update and they shift them around. That's worse. If for some reason the placements get shifted around.
It's also like, why can't we just go everywhere? Like, there's so much room on the screen to list all the places.
Mm. And now they're placing them. Yeah, I know they did it in a way where you have to go through it physically, pretty much. But yeah, it is inconvenient. Oh, it's you. Ah, guests. My apologies. Oh, it's you. Have we met somewhere? Huh? Mr. Edgeworth, I beg your leave. So long. Is Edgeworth here?
Ja, zijn die bij de window en die heb in de hand. Right.
Is the hotel bring him tea service?
Mr. Edgeworth, you're back from the district prosecutor's inquiry. I am.
By the way, Detective Gumshoe was looking for you.
Ah, yes. He brought me the latest information, it seems.
Hang on, I want a good look at this flyer since we can't really bring it up again. Is it me or is that, like, that piece of meat there, a steak I'm assuming? That just looks like a real life, like, picture that's just been, you know, scaled down. Is that me? It's too detailed for such an image.
Could be, yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Really? Was it helpful? Apparently a new French restaurant is opening near here. I think he was trying to console me somehow. Also, that doesn't look French, does it?
It's French, apparently. It'll make sense when we get to the sequel eventually. The real info is on the other side, Edgeworth.
Mr. Edgeworth, I think this whole thing is really taking a toll on him.
So, how did the inquiry committee go?
Actually, they decided to treat this not as a case of concealing evidence, but as a communications error during the investigation.
Which, to be fair, it was.
Concealing evidence? Yes, apparently there are some who believe that I conceal evidence. They gave me a warning. You were lucky this time again.
Again?
I've heard them say that so many times. Ever since that case 2 years ago.
Are you okay for the trial tomorrow?
Well, I'm still the presiding prosecuting attorney. However,
something happened?
They gave control of the investigation over to the police department. The police department? Yes. Any further investigation for this case will be directed by the chief of police again. I cannot do nothing but wait for his results.
I see.
Why? I ask you, why? All along I've done only what I believe is right. I have nothing to be ashamed of. But still.
Wow, I've never seen him this out of sorts. Hey, right, we'll just bring up the whole ID thing. I think you can talk about this. Oh, right. I'd better check this now.
As I was saying, What's this? A record of ID card usage.
Edgeworth, you went into the evidence room that day, didn't you? Just before the incident occurred, no less.
Yes, that's true. Why, Mr. Edgeworth? Please don't look at me like that. I was asked to go. By Chief Kent, no less. The Chief of Police? He wanted evidence for a case that wrapped up half a year ago. told me he wanted to keep it here, in the prosecutor's office.
But it was solved, right? It would have to be if the evidence was already filed.
The chief is never one to explain himself. In any case, on that day of the stabbing, I brought this back here. Can I ask what kind of case it was? I can't say. It really has nothing to do with the current case.
Now I'm curious about this other case. I better make a note of it. It's only unrelated when it's not in this inventory.
Yeah. Stefan is always. I told you this has nothing to do with the current case.
It does now. It's in my inventory. Okay, must be something else to present to him.
Anything else?
Well, since he was in there, he must have seen something. This is a case of before, though. I'll ask about the locker, I guess. Or not.
Right.
No, we know he's not gonna... We don't need to talk about this. Okay, Oh, I don't know what's relevant here, really, to be honest, because he won't talk about certain things, obviously.
Okay, you have the switchblade knife.
Okay, don't see the relevancy. Well, I kind of.
I know you. You probably got a hold of some information already, right?
It all has to do with that case you were on, the SL9 incident, and some dark suspicion you were wrapped up in.
You are the man who will revive the worst memory of my life. I figured I'd be telling you about this sooner or later.
He must be talking about his father's murder in that elevator. Okay, Edgeworth, why don't you tell me about it? Tell me the truth. Just needs a bit of persuasion.
The SL9 incident was a heinous serial killing case. The head of the investigation was the deputy chief of police at the time, Damon Gent.
That wacky old coot was involved in the case 2 years ago too, then?
He was a top officer and it was my first time working with him. I was nervous. Wow, you get nervous too, Mr. Edgeworth.
What I want to know is why was a deputy chief of police on the investigation?
In truth, I used slightly more extreme methods than normal. We're dealing with a vicious murderer. If I let him go, the blood would be on my hands. We won our guilty verdict and the killer was executed.
Wait, you didn't...
Of course not. I didn't touch the evidence. Yes, I will do anything in my power to win the trial. However, I do have a code and I follow it faithfully. By the way, Emma, the chief prosecutor wanted to know something. My sister, what? If you were still studying forensic science? Huh? Yes, of course. Right, just today Mr. Wright and I were using this. Luminal testing fluid, huh? Well then, you might have used for this. Aluminium part for taking fingerprints? It's been chemically treated for better adhesion.
Adhesion.
Adhesion. For me, are you sure? We are the enemy, you know.
Well, there's a difference between evidence and a tool.
I have no say into this investigation. Do as you will.
Edgeworth, I'm really...
No need to thank me. Here, take your powder and these fingerprint files for everyone involved.
Thanks. How about giving these to Detective Gumshoe as well?
Detective Gumshoe is not capable of using them correctly.
He's right.
Well, let's get going. One last investigation.
Right. You seem to remember seeing a suspicious handprint somewhere, or 2 of them. Okay, so I guess this only works on handprint areas. Thankfully, there's only so many spots, so we know where we're going.
And we're going back here.
Back again!
Is Wright taking the bicycle for that, or does he like have a power to activate
He
loaded?
does use a bike. It was confirmed in the anime, so...
Yeah, because I saw the opening of that, and it's like, he must be fit by now.
It's a way to get fit, somehow. Our investigation turned up a suspicious handprint.
Yeah, in this pattern, the detective's evidence locker.
Let's use the secret weapon we just borrowed.
No, we didn't borrow it, it was gifted to us, it's ours.
It's
Right,
procured.
let's get started. First, choose a finger.
Finger?
Each finger leaves behind a slightly different imprint. So, let's choose the finger that will have left behind the clearest print.
The index finger. I really can't tell the difference at a glance.
Get procrastinating and choose a finger. Also, right. You, like, how does he go from stupid to genius? So, like, oh yeah, there's no difference between. Okay, that's time to check for prints.
Oh, so this will be the DS's function difference. So when you're using the powder, the game is actually encouraging you to blow onto the mic on the DS to blow away the powder. I'm assuming this is different on the console version.
Yeah. Let me show you how it's done.
I'm starting to get that sparkle in her eyes.
Just sprinkle the aluminum powder around.
Huh? How do you do that?
With enter, see?
Or the touchscreen, if you're using the DS. Ah, it looks like that did the trick.
Aluminum powder adheres completely to the print. Once the powder is well spread, just blow away the excess.
Huh? How do I do that? It's not like I can use this built-in microphone in the console right here.
With E. Exciting, you know. Imagine you're blowing out the candles on the birthday cake.
See what I mean? It's all descriptions for it being on the DS. Wow, that looks like fun. It might take some getting used to, though.
It's fine, it won't go up your nose or anything.
You say that.
You just put the powder on big and blow away the extra. These are the basics of fingerprinting, Mr. Wright.
I guess I better give it a try. It would have been nice if yeah, it would be nice if like the game built in, if you had a microphone plugged in, it would register and recognize it. That's a thing.
Yeah, but that's effort, you know.
All of it, just enough. I mean, there's no limit to how much I can spread on the floor here, right?
No, there isn't.
Actually, there is a bit of a layer limit. Just gotta make sure it's well encoded, even though you're not supposed to put in this much, because then you can't actually see the fingerprint.
Also, Mr. White, so much cocaine is unhealthy for you. Ah, you did it. You found one.
No, I didn't. It's just an outline. But this looks nothing like a fingerprint.
Now that you mention it, I guess it doesn't.
Yeah, it's just an outline. But what does it mean?
I think it means we're out of luck.
Out of luck?
The person who left his sandprint must have won gloves.
Tell me we've been wasting our time here.
Hey, calm down. That's just the way it goes sometimes with scientific investigations. But it does seem a shame. Well, wait. Why don't we look for other prints?
Other prints?
Looking at the locker door again closely.
We have thumb. Oh wait, there is another handprint.
It seems like there are fingerprints outside the bloody handprint as well. Let's see if we can find a clear print.
Fingerprints outside the blood. Alright, I'll give you that one. This one's really faint. I didn't notice it initially until they pointed it out.
Maybe it wasn't there initially.
I mean, if it was me, I would have thought it'd be a smudge on my monitor.
For, yeah. Or classes or anything.
Just the usual BS. Just gotta make sure it's nice and well coated. We got the whole thing. There it is. Oh, sorry, not happy enough.
Oh yeah.
Say this BS. Just gotta make sure it's well coated. There.
Yeah, a print so it's dazzling. Because the other one wasn't.
Dazzling?
Anyway, this print took a lot of effort to find. No, it didn't. Let's match it up right away.
So, we're not done yet? This is quite a process.
There's no point in finding a fingerprint and not knowing who the owner is, right?
I guess she's right. Yes?
Look at the fingerprint data we got from Mr. Edgeworth, and find out the person you think left his prints.
Huh? How am I supposed to know who it was?
I could make a pretty good guess. The bloody handprint and the fingerprints are in different places, right? That means that the prints probably don't have anything to do with our case.
That's the wrong mindset to have, mate.
So, whose fingerprint would you most likely find on this evidence locker?
I guess Gumshoe.
Yeah, it is Gumshoe's.
Ah, yeah, it is. It's a 100% match. Well...
Ah! So, this prints belong to Detective Gumshoe. Something wrong, Mr. Wright? You give me this... the what look?
I guess that's probably because I was thinking, so what?
Okay, so we came up with nothing this time, but there's always next time. Something you hit, sometimes you miss. You gotta roll with the punches, Mr. White.
Or with the fingerprints. Thanks for the sympathy. Wait, if I remember correctly, there was one other handprint in this room. Let's go check it out. Alright, just gonna... Yeah! There we go. And... powder. Oh, no, I'm guessing I have to check the handprint again. Yeah, there's no... So... Oh, maybe
okay,
I'm
so
supposed
you
to...
have to...
Do I have to spray it again, or do I just...
Yeah, probably to see it.
No, because it's right there. Alright, let me just examine the... Yep.
Ah.
This is where we got a luminal fluid reaction, right?
Ah, right. There was a handprint there. Okay. Want to try using this?
There go our eyes sparkling again. Yeah, let's leave it be. We don't need it.
I love that the game always gives you options for that. That's the spirit. Oh, but I have to warn you about something first.
What?
The air of the blood was wiped away, right?
We only ended up finding it using chemical means.
Any prints that air will have been wiped away too.
No, because the blood will leave it... Oh, whatever. Oh, right. So, that means no prints.
You see, the probability of your hypothesis is high.
Don't ask me!
Anyway, we must try to find prints that weren't wiped away.
Prints other than the ones left by the bloody hand. Okay.
So I guess you just use where other fingers would be.
Yeah, just a rough estimate, I guess. We got something. Gave it my best shot.
That should be any good for matching prints, will it?
But it doesn't look like we'll get a clear result from this print.
Okay, let's try a different finger then.
I don't even know which finger I was pointing at, god damn it. So that would be the thumb.
The thumb.
So that should be the index.
The pointy finger.
The index finger.
Index, thanks.
There's the index, middle finger, ring finger, and pinky.
Yeah.
I know my words sometimes.
You have the same word for the pinky finger and the pinky toe?
I guess some things are universal. Like fuck.
No, I mean, like, like if somebody says you're pinky, you don't know if they're talking about a finger or a toe.
It depends on the context, I guess. Hang on a minute.
No, that's not. Yeah.
Ah, yes. I was thinking too hard. I was like, oh, it looks like this thumb just at an angle, so if I rotate it, you know?
Yeah, you're overthinking it.
Hey, these fingerprints, they're...
Whose are they? Whose? Is it someone I know?
It's Officer Marshall.
Huh? Officer Jake Marshall? That's good to be coincident. He's not involved in the crime.
Yeah, but this is the evidence locker, and he's in charge of it. Emma, This is decidedly different from Detective Gumshoe's prints. The luminal reaction. The blood and the fingerprints are in the same place.
Oh.
So we have Jake Marshall's fingerprints on a wiped bloodstain.
A guy that carries around a knife wherever he goes. But Officer Marshall.
It looks like our investigation is finally turning up some results. I guess this is what you call decisive evidence.
I don't believe it.
Oh, okay, we're just gonna end it right there.
Yeah.
The awkward, whatever. Right, straight to the court.
The first part of court.
There's some reason they're now doing two-parters for court cases for some reason.
Yeah, it's weird. Especially since the last time it was so oddly paced with the second one being so short.
At least the second game isn't as bad, if I recall. It wasn't that long ago. I've blanked out of it now, though.
So, what do you think, Mr. Wright?
I think the prosecution is as confused as we are. After all... Is he...
Yeah. The victim was murdered in different places at the same time. And a different suspect was arrested at each of the crime scenes. Lana. Good morning, Mr. Wright. I apologize for yesterday. I was indisposed.
I hope they didn't hold you too long for questioning.
We just finished, actually. I'm used to all-nighters, though.
Oh, sick. About you sleep then.
So, how did it go? It's as Mr. White suspects. The police are clueless. I figured as much, so I struck a plea bargain. A plea bargain? What do you mean by that? We agreed that if I told them the truth behind the simultaneous murder, they wouldn't seek capital punishment. That's what I mean, Emma. But Lana, don't you tell me you... Much to my regret, I'm as much in dark about this as they are.
Miss Sky.
Huh?
We found trace evidence of a certain person in the police department's evidence room. They belong to Officer Jake Marshall.
What kind of trace evidence?
Bloodstained fingerprints, to be exact. That's the trump card I have up my sleeve today. You do understand what this means, don't you?
In order to find my sister, you're going to accuse Mr. Marshall?
We have to play the cards we're dealt. Isn't that right, Miss Sky?
Do what you have to do, Mr. White.
Oh, do note, she's wearing that red muffler now. I think I'm now going to refer scarves
from the evidence.
I don't know. I think from now on, if I see scarves, I'm going to refer to them as mufflers now. You can't undo that.
I actually looked it up online. Apparently, is a thing.
Where? In which region?
I don't know which region, but
Upstate New York.
No, it's an Albert expression. Court is now in session for the trial of Mrs. Lana Sky.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
The prosecution is... I'm afraid you have to clarify. It takes 30 minutes per car to reach the police department from the prosecutor's office. Yet, the victim, Bruce Goodman, was slain at both places at the same time. But that's not physically possible, is it? What's more, I heard the victim from the evidence room just disappeared. Yes, and the body eventually reappeared in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car.
Wow. This is one messed up trial.
One of my duties as prosecutor is to present impartial evidence. Today I will present evidence relating to the murder at the police department. In so doing, I believe the way in which we should proceed will reveal itself. Now, that's what sets Mr. Wright apart. He sounds so on top of things. He probably doesn't know what's going on himself.
And that's supposed to be an admirable trait?
Well, let the trial resume. On the day of the crime, what exactly transpired at the police department? Mr. Edgeworth, you may call your first witness of the day to the stand.
Of the day. I have to clarify that now.
For its first witness, the prosecution calls the suspect of the murder that occurred at the police department. The suspect? You mean the so-called murderer?
Oh boy. Things are getting wild from the get-go.
Will the witness please state his name and occupation? Yes, sir. I'm Officer Meekins, sir. My occupation is, that would be murderer, sir. Uh, so, you're telling us you're a professional killer? Sir, it was me, sir. I'm the one who did it. I'll never kill anyone again, sir. You have got to believe me, sir. Actually, Sir, I'm what you would call part of the younger generation, sir. A person whose actions adults cannot possibly comprehend. Please, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Help me, sir. Officer Meekins. Yes, sir. Give us your report of the crime. Consider that an order. Yes, sir, as you wish. After all, I'm part of a generation that must be told what to do, sir. You can't put him for a lack of enthusiasm.
He certainly has spirit, I'll give him that.
I thought it's not my normal duty. I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room. I was only doing so what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. If I fought for my life, then I did it. After that, I passed out until another officer smacked me awake. So, the victim, Detective Goodman, attacked you. Do unto others before they unto to you. That's the Meekins family motto, sir. I see. Then you fainted and a colleague helped you regain consciousness. Yes, sir. He knocked me upside the head, sir. Well, the defense may begin its cross-examination.
What I need here is more info to work with. Right, so far there is no real contradictions, so what we can do really is press him for more clarification, like, why is he in the evidence room? Why was he near it in the first place? Mr. Meekins, you work in the General Affairs Department, do you not?
Yes, sir. I'm in charge of hiring new recruits, sir.
Yikes. Now there's a scary thought.
Evidence transfer was taking place on the day of the crime, which meant many officers were given special tasks not ordinarily performed. I was in charge of guarding the Blue Badger, sir. The Blue Badger? Yes, sir, the lovely police mascot created by the Chief of Detectives, sir.
We made this. You need to acknowledge this.
I was to ensure it wasn't broken during the transfer process. That was my sole mission for the day, sir. I see. Sounds like a very important mission. After the award ceremony finished that day, there were so many people running around that I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. Oh, so that's why you went to the evidence room. Tell us, what did you see when you got there?
I just want to check the timestamp for... Where is it? There it is. Okay, so we can go under the assumption that Meekins' number is this 498 thing, right?
Yeah, because
That must be
he was
his.
at the yeah.
Because he definitely went in after Edgeworth, because Edgeworth would have confirmed that he saw Meekins, so he entered and he left around the same time as Goodman.
And then he rented when he saw him on the screens.
That's interesting, isn't it? Well, that's relevant, but we don't know how to apply it just yet, but we'll keep that in mind.
So just press.
In order to enter the evidence room, you need an ID card, am I correct?
Precisely, sir. I have one right here around my neck.
So then, your ID number should be listed on here, right? Alright, good thing we're on the right path then.
There it is. I found it. This is the one right here. Could you please read us the number?
Oh, here we go again.
Yes, sir. It's 4989596. That's my number, sir.
I see. Huh. But the number 4989596 is shown as being used twice.
Please explain, witness. It's no real mystery, sir. The first time is when I relocated the blue badger to the evidence room. And the second time is when I went to get him after everything settled down. I see. So it was during the second time when... Yes, sir, that was when I spotted the man on the security screen.
Right. So, you were attacked. Can you please tell us exactly what happened to you?
It was a knife, sir. A knife. Detective Goodman pulled a knife on you. What happened then? Well, with me charging on him like that, he looked as surprised as I was.
You aren't exactly the kind of person someone would want to run into.
That's when I reacted, sir. I swung my arms like an octopus struggling to detain him. That's how I got this gash on my hand. Maybe if you just get to cool your hand, wouldn't be? When I saw the blood trickling down my arm, I panicked. I grabbed the man by his collar. I fought from a...
No, not yet. What exactly do you mean when you say you did it?
I don't know. I know I don't look the type, but I'm really into Kung Fu films, sir.
Oh, he's one of those.
The man let his guard down for just an instant, so I snatched his knife from him.
You took his knife?
I spun him around and performed a disarming maneuver. I made sure to close my eyes, like a man.
Wait a minute. See. He must have been desperate.
Then the next thing I knew, his white collar was drenched in a sea of my blood, and then the next thing I knew... yes. He punched me right in my face, sir.
Interesting. He's claiming that the attacker has been coated in blood. Now, what time did you regain consciousness?
No offense, sir, but how was I supposed to know? I was unconscious.
Oh, right.
According to the report from the officer that woke up the witness, it was around 5:30. He hit me right in the head too. I woke up crying tears of pain. That's nice. I mean, it's nice that you recovered, that is. When I came around, Blue, I made sure to finish my mission, sir.
Your mission?
Yes, sir, the blue badger, sir. I returned him to the entrance before things got out of hand.
Well, we can all rest easy now. So the Blue Badger was in the evidence room the whole time. Interesting.
I believe we now have a fairly accurate picture of what happened. Yes, Your Honor. Only one thing remains unclear. Was the man, this officer, murdered, really the victim?
He's got a point.
Yes, Officer Meekins. With regard to that, sir, take a look at this. It was sent to my jail cell. Chief Grant delivered it to me just this morning, sir. The chief.
Delivered it?
What is that? A videotape?
Yes, we call those VHSs. That's us. That's an old thing now. Fuck.
Yeah,
I'm old.
so am I. Yeah, sir, that's absolutely right, sir. Videotape, sir.
I still have one lounging around, and I think I might still have a TV with a VHS reader built in. One day I'm going to plug that in just to see if it's as nostalgic as I remember it being.
Yeah, I still have a lot of them lying around. I think
I
my
used to have
sister also had one that can still play it.
I used to have a lot more, and then for some fucking reason they got thrown out. I was insisting on them being converted, but no, throw them out. Fuck.
They just for them.
Throw them out. And it's like a couple of them are rare as well, so thanks.
Yeah. It contains footage from the security camera in the evidence room. What? But I specifically asked if there was such a tape, and was told it had been mistakenly erased. That's quite a mistake. I just do what I'm told, sir. It's the only thing I'm really good at.
It looks like communication with the police department is as good as ever.
Well then, let's have a look. Show us the video of you, the video of you murdering the victim. Oh, please stop using that word murder, sir. It scares me.
Well, I'm sorry, we don't have any other words to accompany for this. Inconveniently killed. I don't know. Video of a real murder. Just what are we getting ourselves into? Alright.
Watching people die.
Oh, yeah, there's the blue badger, so we can confirm he was there. And it's in the middle of the hallway. Well, that's interesting, then. And the safe there, that's the one that got handprinted, is covered up a little bit there, then.
Yeah.
We see a white coat, even though it's in black and white. We can only assume it's white. Could be grey for all we know. And his face is conveniently covered up. Oh, glove drops. This is all in the 3D environment, by the way. DS technology, man.
Yeah, there's so much in this video going on, I think I've forgotten half of it already.
There's the knife. Ooh. I think he attempted to stab him more than punch him out.
Yeah.
Also, who inserted this music in the background here?
It's always playing when the red badger is dancing.
How does it know? Oh, cloth there. I think that changed.
Yep.
But I wasn't paying attention to that, so I don't know when it happened, but it might have been just right there in that pan.
Well, I believe we're all thinking the same thing. How can we deal with these unsettling feelings stirred within us? What the hell was that wiggly piece of playwood? Sir, that's the pride and joy of the entire criminal affairs department, sir. It's the blue badger, sir.
Why am I not surprised this isn't going smoothly?
Yes, well, anyway.
Before we continue, I just want to check the tape. So am I able to... I am not able to manipulate this whatsoever. Why
No,
am I not
you
able...
are later on if you need to call things out.
Okay, it was just weird you can't manipulate the tape for personal viewing, though.
This tape seems to prove that the witness did indeed encounter someone in the evidence room and some sort of activity to take place. Your Honor, instead of relying on clearly incomplete footage, the witness testimony will suffice.
I mean, that footage is usable. It confirms that he was there, so, you know.
Is that alright with you, Officer Meekins? Yes, sir, as you wish, sir.
Right.
His face can't be clearly seen in this video, but there is no questioning that the other person was Detective Goodman, sir. I mean, he opened the locker, which required Detective Goodman's fingerprints to do. The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir. So it must be him. No one else could have unlocked it. What's this about fingerprint? Each detective has been given a locker, equipped with a fingerprint-activated lock. These locks ensure that each locker can only be opened by the detective it belongs to. Intriguing. That would mean the victim at the crime scene would have been Detective Goodman. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination.
I don't know where this cross-examination will lead, but everything begins with contradictions. That's where I have to start. No, you first start pressing things, then you do the contradictions. Gotta play it safe. Speaking of safe, better make a safety save. Okay, so we'll just press on everything first.
Yeah.
Tell me, were you able to get a good look at him? At the face of the man who attacked you with a knife?
Sir, I must label... If you must label people as having seen or not seen this man's face, I believe it would be classified as the latter.
The latter? But you were standing right in front of him, were you not?
More to the point, you are the person who fought him, aren't you? Oh, yes, sir, but I didn't get a clear look at his face, sir. I'm not the kind of guy who looks directly at people when talking with them, you see.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good trait for a police officer.
Still, I'm sure it was him. I will bet my badge on it.
Not wearing a badge. Well, I can see. But you don't know that for sure, do you? You never actually saw Detective Goodman's face.
Well, I suppose you might say that. That is, if you must label people as... Oh god, this is the same. Okay, no, it's actually not.
Yeah.
Since his face can't be identified in the video, only you can verify it. Why is everyone looking at me? If I had to label you stairs as disturbing or... Meekins. Having been shown a questionable video at best, we are not in the best of moods. Now, please, be more certain with your testifying. Yes, sir. You claim the man who banished a knife on you was Bruce Goodman. Tell us, why are you positive it was him?
Hang on. About these lockers, is there no other way to open them?
No, sir. I myself tried all kinds of methods in the past. They only respond to registered fingerprints, sir.
I wonder what kind of methods he tried.
If the man opened the locker's lock, it only responds to its registered fingerprints. Then he must be the person the locker was assigned to. Exactly my point, sir. And this too.
Hang on a minute. How do you know that information?
I've heard rumors, sir, from people in the know, sir.
Hang on, that's not confirmation either. People in the know?
The workers in the department cafeteria, sir. They keep me informed. They also listen to my romantic troubles, sir.
I can imagine he's a quite a deep struggler on it.
For the record, the object did indeed belong to Detective Goodman. I verified this information through a more reliable source.
Ooh, Gumshoe?
So, the victim opened the locker with his own fingerprint.
However, the most important detail is not shown in this video. The man's face.
Sir, if I may say something, sir. Please do. After all, you are the one being examined. I don't understand why the man's face is so important in this case, sir.
It's pretty bloody important, mister.
I mean, it was his hand that opened the fingerprint lock, and it was his hand that tried to thrust his knife into my body, sir. My unsettling state can't testify enough of this, sir. I mean, he's got a point.
He's got a point, but if we can't see the face, that literally can be anyone, even if the evidence is leaning towards one thing. If you can't see that face, that could be anyone.
I mean, the thing is, the evidence already
pointing
leads to the
towards
fact, right? Isn't him.
Yeah.
Based with. Yeah, he's getting it mixed up, but he has a point that if, you, like,
He's right to
fingerprints are
assume.
a secure thing of doing it, but there's one thing that everybody overlooks in this video. Yes, you have a point. The footage doesn't lie. That is, unless the defense can find a problem with it. Mr. Wright, let's check the court record again.
Is there a problem with the security video? Yeah, there's a problem. Regarding the video contained on this tape, there is one thing in particular that seems rather strange.
Strange.
This contradiction leads to the possibility that the man may not have been Detective Goodman.
What? This video contains such a contradiction. Interesting. Your Honor, I have a proposal. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth. I propose we have the defense point out to us this alleged contradiction in the video.
Would want me to point it out.
Well, proposal accepted. Let's further investigate. Better inspect this piece of evidence. I will now play the security tape. Mr. Wright, please show us this contradiction you speak of.
I have to point out a problem in the video? This is the first time I've ever had to do that.
You can do it, Mr. Wright. It's set up so you can fast forward, rewind, or pause at the video. Just take a good look and be sure to point out the right thing. Please don't play it too many times. I can't stand watching this video.
I'm gonna repeat it so many times till the tape burns out. How did this guy have become a police officer?
Now then, Mr. Wright, please enlighten us. Where is the contradiction that indicates the man...
That wasn't me.
Oh,
Okay, so... Okay, at least they put in the detail of the pause sign. I appreciate that. I was expecting the whole... You know, when you pause a VHS, is all that warbliness, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Anyway. Right. So we can fast forward. Oh, there it is. Okay, so the cloth is missing.
You can actually rewind it before he comes there.
I don't see the issue. Oh, it's already unlocked.
Yeah.
I guess I'll just point at the light then, or the door?
Yeah, the light.
I think the general will do. The thing that's strange about this video has got to be this. Officer Meekins.
Yes. Do you mean me, sir?
As I understand it, the locker apparatus works like this. When you grab the handle, a sensor reads your fingerprint if it's a match. The light turns on and the lock is released. Again, I just want to point this out before we miss it. So that picture there is a reference to the second game. So they're being smart here. We're using this add-on content to tease more to the second game, just to link it better. I mean, I appreciate that, but at the same time,
according to my very limited experience, that's the way I understand it, sir.
If so, then something is seriously wrong with this picture. 5 years.
Yeah, get ready to watch this a lot.
We made this footage, and you're gonna damn well appreciate it, because it's the only bit of 3D work we're going on here. Although maybe it's a 2D environment with 3D assets? Maybe? Trying to see if there's... Ah, it doesn't matter. When the victim reaches for the handle to open the locker, let's rewind to a little earlier. For fuck's sake! Felix, just fast forward this! Look at this 3DS technology. It's amazing! Here, notice the light?
What's this? It's already lit.
Precisely my point, Your Honor. The locker was already open before the victim grabbed the handle.
Ah? Order, order. What's the meaning of this?
It's very simple, Your Honor. The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime.
But the locker locks are controlled by an electronic system. When the door is shut, a sensor is triggered, and the locker is automatically locked. Oh, I know. It must have broken down. Of course, I'm not an expert in this.
No, it's a safe assumption.
That's not likely, Honor. The sensor will detect and report any malfunction. Oh, well, it just goes to show novices should keep their mouths shut.
Yeah, but you know, small assumptions like that is a safe bet to make. Sometimes it is right. Yeah.
So then, Mr. White, do you have an explanation?
Me, Your Honor?
Yes. Why wasn't the locker locked?
Me, Your Honor? Yes, well, you see, this isn't exactly my field. What do you think, Miss Scientific Investigator?
Maybe something like Chanta System Sensor?
Something jammed the sensor. Say, there's something else that seems out of place in this video.
Yeah, I thought so too. There's got to be another clue somewhere in this footage.
Here we go again.
Well, let's inspect the video once more. The locker wasn't locked, Mr. White. Please point out the cause for this.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
I'm gonna get good use of this.
And I actually remember this quite well, so you can rewind a bit forwards. So stop when he's about to open it.
Yeah, there it is. There. Right there. Please watch closely. This is the continuation of the part I showed you earlier.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
It's coming back to me.
And they don't even bother with the music for this one.
Maybe to prevent copyright strikes. What's this? Something white fell out of the locker. But sir, it's been my experience that things fall out when doors are opened. I often fall out and fall.
We can't be sure that item was completely inside the locker to begin with.
What do you mean?
The sensor triggers the lock when the door is shut. What if something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door?
Inserted?
Fuck's sake.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
Get good use of this one.
Yeah.
I have to appreciate the 4:3 aspect ratio here, because that was the footage at the time. This white thing wasn't inside the locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor.
Oh, I understand now, sir. It's just like my tie. 2 out of 3 times it gets stuck in the door when I get out of my patrol vehicle, sir. Instead of the door closing, my tie chokes me. But the object would have to be extremely thin to fit in the door. Not only that, it would also have to block electrical currents. It would need to be an isolator.
Insulator.
Insulator. Okay. Yes, an insulator, but at the crime scene.
It just might have been something that fits the description.
But sir, by insulator you...
I'm not doing this. It keeps doing it for me. I think I finally got this figured out.
I mean, I should be glad because Meekins is a bit hard to voice. Well, the defense, please present the relevant evidence. What was this insulator that was stuck in the locker door?
I don't know. Maybe the glove we found? Just saying.
Yeah, that object that clearly is glove-shaped.
Must be a glove. I found this near the locker, a thin rubber glove.
But we can't be sure that was in the victim's locker.
May we show you the tape again? It has a tag that says SL9 incident. The video seems to depict the victim opening the locker. But that isn't the case. The lit lamp attests to this. On the day of the crime, even I could have opened that locker. Is this not so, Officer Meekins?
Sir, it would appear so, sir. Order, order, order! So, are we to believe then that the victim, who this witness stabbed in the evidence room, was not Detective Goodman? Do not be misled, Your Honor. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? The defense has merely demonstrated that possibility and nothing more. The victim in the video was indeed Bruce Goodman. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this.
What?
Officer Meekins, please testify about this. Sir, me, sir. I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir. Oh, you mean that, sir? Of course, sir.
Is this a joke?
Very well. Begin your testimony. There's one other thing that proves the man was Detective Goodman, sir. To enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. At the time of the crime, the detective had used his card. An ID card record, I see. I have the ID card record right here, Your Honor. Wait, you also have it.
Oh yeah, we showed it to him, so he has a copy.
The ID used at 5:14 is that of the victim. Just before the crime. Yes, without a doubt, this is the victim's ID. However, one thing does strike me as unusual. Several hundred cases should have been due for transfer. Why were there so few people using this room? Wow, that's actually a good point.
That is a valid point.
This particular evidence room is only used for storing certain special cases.
Oh, you're telling me there's more than one evidence room. How convenient. Special cases?
Extremely rare cases involving police stuff.
That is very specific.
Just saying that makes my hair stand on end.
Me too. Although, it doesn't make much of a difference. Get it? Because anime hair.
There were only a few cases up for transfer there, and most were cleared up by noon. Right, I see. Now let's move on to the cross-examination. Damn it, Ace Attorney actually nitpicked itself before I realized that.
It has moments of logic. So, unlike your earlier testimony, you believe this to be rock solid, do you?
Yes, sir. Solid as stone, sir. If my hand wasn't wrapped in my vengeance, I would even give the V for victory sign, sir.
Isn't that with the right hand, not the left? Yeah, exactly.
Couldn't he just use his right hand for that? No, he has to hold the speaker thing.
Ugh.
Let's hear him out fully. As we've seen, only knows what he might say until the very last second.
Is that card hanging from your neck one of these ID cards?
Yes, sir. The card right next to my cuffs, sir. I keep it in here so I won't ever forget it.
But what if someone were to steal it from you, keeping it out in the open like that?
Maybe I shouldn't wear it around my neck. Remember when I said 2 out of 3 times my tie gets stuck when I get out of my car? Well, the remaining time, it's my ID card that gets stuck. Instead of the door closing, my ID card chokes me.
Maybe I should just leave this one alone.
At any rate, each police officer has only one ID card. Both the police department and the prosecutor's office can attest to this.
Keep insisting that, but they also established that you can easily replace said card, so...
Thinking already. Please proceed with your testimony.
Let it be noted that this is the record the witness referred to.
Let me see. Yes, that would be it. Detective Goodman.
What's the matter?
According to this, Mr. Edgeworth, your name is on here. So it is, Your Honor.
What, no audience reaction? Oh, no, there it is. It's unusually delayed. He's doing it again! At this rate, everyone is. Got the wrong color, kid.
It would seem that the inquiry committee will want to speak with you again today.
Oops.
I have nothing to be ashamed of regarding my actions or their consequences. For now, let us continue with the cross-examination. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, it must be so difficult for him.
Ah, he's fine. Earlier, I believe you testified that when you asked the man to show his ID card, he pulled a knife on you.
Yeah, sir, he didn't show me any ID card, sir.
Don't you think that's odd? I mean, if he had his ID card, all he had to do was show it to you. There wouldn't be any reason to draw a knife.
Maybe he just panicked.
Everything stems from contradictions. Let's point them out.
Mr. Wright, what do you think?
I'm confused.
What?
The problem with this ID card testimony is far too obvious. It's not like Edgeworth to miss something like this.
Yeah, think too hard about it. Go on, let's show them what we've got.
I actually don't see the contradiction right now.
You already said the right thing.
Yeah, it's just a matter of how to present it.
Maybe look at the evidence again.
I'm trying to process it, but it's not registered in my head.
You don't need to look at this, so it's another one of the evidence.
I'm actually blanking really hard here for some fucking reason. I'm not sure why.
You said about replacing.
Yeah, but I
we
don't know
have-
how to present. Oh, right. Where is it? Where's that rope? There it is. 5, 9, or 4 that was scribbled out. Let's just fact check that. It's 5, 8. Interesting. Okay, so it was probably his number that was being replaced. Okay, so that's the evidence. We just need to know where to present it.
Yeah. I think we probably should be the last one.
Right, make a save. Scroll all the way over here. Wait one moment, Officer Meekins.
I'm not good at waiting, sir.
I have the victim's ID card right here. I found it at the crime scene.
That makes sense.
When I say crime scene, I'm not referring to the evidence room at the police department. I mean the other crime scene. The underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. Your Honor, I have one more piece of evidence to present. It's a very important clue regarding the victim's ID card.
Lost item report. It's only half completed.
But it shows that Detective Goodman had lost something on the day of the crime. Something important enough to fill out this report.
Let me guess, you believe there's something to be his ID card, right?
I can't say for sure, but there is a high probability. On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his card.
Order. So now, what does this all mean?
It can only mean one thing. It doesn't even require much thought. The man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman, but rather the man who stole his ID card.
Order. Does the prosecution have a response? I have only one thing to say to the defense. Bravo, Mr. Wright.
Bravo.
Allow me to summarize the defense's argument. At 5:15 p.m. on the day of the crime, the man in the evidence room Officer Meekins encountered was not Detective Goodman. There are two grounds to support this. First, the locker in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second, the victim lost his ID card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright?
Yes? What's he up to?
That being the case, we must inevitably arrive at a single conclusion. If the victim in this video is a fake, then the murder in the evidence room is also a fake. In other words, the security camera does not show the instant of the murder.
He is right. That is... Well, I guess that's right.
Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Only moments ago, you seemed content to be pointing your finger around.
This isn't going to end well.
Well. It seems you finally realized exactly what you've gone to such lengths to prove. Explain yourself, Mr. Edgeworth. The defense has already done the explaining for me. The victim in this video is a fake, which means a murder did not take place at the police department at 5:15 on the day of the crime.
I was gonna point out the blood thing, and then I realized, oh wait, no, that'd be Meekins' blood then, logically.
Yeah, it is Meekins' blood. So, the real crime could only take place at one location. The underground parking lot. At the prosecutor's office. The murderer being Miss Lana Sky, the defendant. The evidence is compelling. A trustworthy witness. Observe the moment the defendant used the murder weapon.
Ah! I knew that testimony was way too shabby. It was all a trap from the beginning.
The activity in the evidence room still leaves many questions unanswered. Who exactly was the victim Officer Meekins encountered, and where did the person disappear to? However, this trial's purpose is to examine only the murder of Detective Goodman. Yes, so, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, you have to do something else, Lana.
What do I do? How am I supposed to get myself out of this mess? Oh, I'll object. That's the best thing you can do.
Yeah.
One moment, Your Honor.
What now, Mr. White? Don't tell me you're objecting to what you've just proven.
Of course not. But I almost walked right into the prosecution's trap.
What are you talking about?
This cross-examination has proven one thing and one thing only. The security video did not show the actual murder. Give it 5 years. Well, we're waiting. Any second now. Da, da, da. There it is! That's it! It's right there! It's right there! However, it cannot be said that it is unrelated to the murder in the parking lot. Specifically, large amounts of blood traces were found in the evidence room. The defense demands further examination into the truth of the matter.
Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. If this court were to examine this further, other witnesses will be necessary. Is the prosecution prepared? I am sorry, Your Honor. The prosecution considered the incident at the police department to be unrelated. We have not prepared any other witnesses for this incident.
This just might be my chance. Time to call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand.
No. Mr. Wright, do you mean?
Your Honor, the defense would like to request a specific witness.
Oh. Who do you have in mind?
Someone we have reason to believe knows the truth. The truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room.
The prosecution requests to hear this person's name before deciding whether or not to comply. Very well then, Mr. Wright, this person whom you would have testified. What is his or her name?
It's Jesse McCree. Fuck. Matthew Mercer. Fuck! Officer Jake Marshall.
By him.
Can't let Edgeworth know everything just yet. He's in charge of the evidence room. I feel we should hear what he has to say.
The prosecution agrees to the defense request. Since he was responsible for guarding the room, we should hear his testimony. Fortunately, he works in the police department. He shouldn't need longer than 20 minutes to prepare.
30 minutes? Takes 30 minutes to get here.
Very well. The court will take a 30-minute recess while the witness is subpoenaed.
Subpoenaed.
What are those words?
It's a weird word.
Will the prosecution please prepare the witness during this time? We will, Your Honor. Court is now in recess. There is no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright?
Huh? What do you mean?
You called for Jake Marshall. It seems you figured everything out.
I haven't figured anything out.
You're the one who knows everything. Emma. You always know everything, but then you just tell us. Mr. Wright is trying his hardest to protect you. I don't recall ever asking for his protection. How can you be so cold? Don't you trust us? Don't you trust me?
Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? You got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run all around while I'm duty. And to top it off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals.
Sorry, detective.
You better be, pal. Hey! I didn't see you there, Chief Prosecutor Sky.
That's okay. So, have you brought what I asked?
You mean this, right?
I apologize, detective. Due to my present circumstances, I first used Mr. Wright's name when making my request.
My name? Never in a million years would I have thought it was you who asked me. Could I bother you to bring me the SO9 incident files? I'll need them by noon. Talk about crazy. The SL9 incident?
But Anna, that's... I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. Here, you might do well to read them.
I can't believe you, the chief prosecutor, were a witness in that case. Miss Sky was a witness? Take it from me, you don't want anything to do with serial murders. Oh, what? Now that I've brought you your stuff, you're just gonna ignore me? Emma, but why? Why is your name in here?
What? My name is there? I don't know unless... No. No, it couldn't be. Lana, this... SL9 isn't... Is that... That's the classification number the police filed under 2 years ago. The rest of the world knew this. The Joe Dark killings. The Joe Dark... No, Lana. No.
And... Emma, wait! She ran away. You know what? I just remembered. I gotta be somewhere. Sorry, Papa, I'm out of here. Jake Marshall, Angel Starr, Damon Gant, Miles Edgeworth. Not to mention Lana and Emma. Everyone involved in this case is connected to those killings 2 years ago. This can't be just a coincidence.
Knowing you just might be able to figure it out. And we get back to the trial, Mr. White. Best of luck.
I'd better take a good look at this file. Oh, I'll do it right now then. What we got? 4 pages. Let's see. The case is closed. Joe Dark, serial murder, death. Victims: Edward Jones, Jason Knight, Rachel Moss, Edith Kirby, Jeff Bates, Neil Marshall. Neil Marshall?
Sure.
Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth. Witness Lana and Emma Sky. Investigation Task Force. Executive Investigators Damon Gant, Lana Sky. Head Investigator Bruce Goodman. Investigators Jake Marshall and Angel Starr. Okay, this is all just confirming things. And an extra name. Oh, good timing.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, I think we'll stop here because pretty sure if we go for the next thing, it'll push over 2 hours.
It will be longer, yeah.
One step closer, yet another week later. Annoyingly. Right. That'll do for a stream. Thumbnail preview. Skip the step. Right, that'll do for a stream. So, unfortunately, not a stream tomorrow. Gotta check back on Monday for the next one. God damn it.
Yeah, sorry again. But concerts!
Yeah, I know. Just, it's been so many skipped stream days the past few weeks. This has to stop. This is becoming a problem.
Sorry.
I don't like this. Normally what I would do is like compensate on another day, so just to be fair, but no. We got a schedule that works.
Yeah.
Somehow. Alright. So yeah, so no stream till Monday. So until then, bye all.